Welcome back to my channel, The Homestyle Homestead. My name is Lexi if you are new. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make your very own beeswax wrap bread bags and just the beeswax wraps. I'm going to walk you through the complete tutorial of making this bag all the way through to coating it in the beeswax and also how to coat your beeswax wraps. If you didn't know already, I have a sourdough micro bakery. I have a ton of customers asking me all the time, what is the best way to store their bread at home? And I really didn't have a great answer for them, so I did a ton of research and I came to find that there was one common answer, and that was beeswax wrap bread bags. So I decided I wanted to make some. The beeswax helps to almost preserve the bread and keep it fresh longer. And then the cool thing about the beeswax wraps is it's just a great plastic alternative. I'm all for finding alternatives to plastic in any way that I can. So I think these are going to be a great item to have in my kitchen. So if you'd like to see how I made these beeswax bread bags and these beeswax wraps, then please keep watching. Okay, so I'm gonna be making a few different things today. I'm making the beeswax wraps. I cut out all my fabric. I thought I would save you the trouble of being bored to death watching me cut all this fabric out. I have a ton of different sets of those. These are all pre-cut and ready to go for when we are ready to put the beeswax mix on them. So I'm just gonna set these aside for now until we get to that point. And then I have the bread bag is a drawstring, it pulls shut. I have a ton of the bags that I am going to sew up today. I'm going to show you how to make one, and then I'm going to sew these all together. Might take me a day or so because I have an almost 2-year-old running around, and so yeah, I sew when I have time. This bag is really easy to make. What you're going to do is cut a piece of fabric just like this, 13 inches by 30 inches. You will do 2 strips, 30 inches by 2 inches. We'll set those off to the side for now. What you want to do is just take your piece of fabric, fold it in half. You want to have the wrong side of the fabric facing out for this point. Line it up as best you can. Okay, and then once you have it folded in half, come to the open side, measure 2 inches down from the top, and either mark it or place a pin. And then do the same thing on this side. Just like this. So you have one marker here and one marker here. Then come over to your sewing machine. Right where that marker is where you're going to start. So you want to leave the top 2 inches unsewn on the sides, basically. When you first start, go down a little and then hit your reverse button. Go back and back down just to lock those stitches in place. And then do the same thing at the bottom. Come down and go back to lock the stitches in. Now you can flip it back, right side out. With your corners out. Okay, and now this next part is where your iron is going to be your best friend. Make sure it's on the right setting for your fabric. These should be cotton, 100% cotton if you're making these with beeswax. And then I just like to come through and crisp everything out. And then next you're going to come back to where you have your opening. I'm going to fold this halfway. And then all the way down to where this is for the next fold. And then I'll flip it over. I'm going to do the same thing here. And then for this fold, you want it to line up with this so you have an even top. So I will fold this down kind of for a rough estimate. but I'll fold it down until everything meets up nice and even, or as close to. And then we're gonna head back over to the sewing machine. Now when you sew these, you wanna make sure that you get it as close to this edge as possible, because you wanna leave enough room in here for your drawstring to come through. And then same thing, come down, go back, and then go down to lock in your stitches. And then do the same thing for the other side. So now that the bag is done, we can go work on the drawstrings. So I first like to fold it in half and iron this. So then when I open it back up, I have a guide for my middle, and then I will fold this side to that guide, right in the middle where that line is. And then the same on the other side. Okay, set this one off to the side and then do the same thing on the other one. Now easy enough, you're just going to sew these shut all the way down. I like to sew these ends shut as well. Okay, and then do the same thing on the other one. Okay, so now that we have both the drawstrings and the bag, I just took a safety pin and put it through the end. I'm gonna come to the bag, to the opening, slip the safety pin in, and then we're gonna start pulling that drawstring through this little flap that we made up here. And then turn the corner and go through the next one. Now put the safety pin in the other one, and we're gonna come to this side, not this side, but this side. Okay, and then go under these two and into this one. Okay, then once you get them both through the sides, come to one side, bring it to the tips and line them up. And then we're just going to put a knot as close to the end, like that. Same thing on this side. And put a knot. And then that is it. Then you're done with your drawstring bag. I'm gonna go ahead and finish sewing up the rest of my bread bags. I have 3 other ones that I'm gonna do. And then we will get into putting the beeswax and resin and jojoba oil on the bags and on the wraps. Okay, so it's a couple days later. I got all my bags sewn together. I'm using white beeswax little pellets that I got from Hobby Lobby. I picked up some brushes just from Walmart. I got some premium pine rosin off of Amazon. I put some in a baggie and I just crushed it until it was kind of fine. And then I got jojoba oil that I got at Hobby Lobby as well. I mix that all together. It is starting to warm up on the stove. I'm gonna preheat my oven to 200 degrees. I'm gonna line every cookie sheet that I have in my house with some parchment paper. We're gonna start with the wraps because I have the pine rosin in them to make them sticky. I'm not gonna put the pine rosin in the bags because I don't need them to be sticky. These will just be beeswax and jojoba oil. Okay, so now that this is all melted, I want to keep it warm. So I'm going to be working right here so that it's always kind of on a low flame so that it doesn't start to harden again. Okay, I'm gonna start with this amount. It's kind of a thin layer. I'm gonna put this in to the oven for 1 minute. I'm gonna pull it out and see if everything is all even. I'm gonna try to do less on this one. When I take the other one out, I'm gonna put this one in. Okay, so I ended up doing 3 minutes and that made it all melt and distribute perfectly. Feels like it worked. I made this little drying area. I just tied some baking twine to my cabinet. I'm just gonna clothespin them right here so they can dry. Okay, now here's this one that we put a little less on. It's kind of hard to tell exactly how much you should put on it. Doesn't feel like there's very much on this one. I'm gonna hang this one up to dry. I'm gonna let both of these dry and then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to experiment with them. I'm gonna try to put them on a bowl and see if they have enough stickiness, which one I think has the better amount of the mixture on it, and then I can go from there for the rest of the wraps. So as you can see, the first one that we did is sticking perfectly to the bowl, and this second one that we did with a little less of the mixture is not. That being said, I'm gonna go with the first one. I'm gonna do a little bit more than I did on this one. Since I can't exactly tell you how much I'm putting on each one, you might have to experiment like I just did to see how much you wanna put on each one of your wraps. I'm gonna be kind of doing like an assembly line style thing. I'm going to put one in the oven, and while that one is in the oven, I'm going to move on to the next one to put this on, and when that one comes out, it'll go to the drying rack, and then if any of those are done over there, I'll take those down and set them aside and then just keep going. Also, I think the magic number in the oven is 3 minutes. Apply it, put it in there for 3 minutes, take it out, take it off the parchment paper, fan it, hang it up, and then I think that's perfect. I just finished up with the wraps, and now I'm gonna move on to the bags. I'm gonna mix up the bread bag mixture. It's a potato, not an egg. It's a potato. I had to give him a potato to play with. Anyway, it's gonna be the same thing, just without the rosin, because we don't need the bags to be sticky. For the bags, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just not gonna take it much past right here, just so that the drawstring can still do what it needs to do. I might end up having to flip it over and do another coat on the other side just because since there's double the fabric, I'm not sure it will penetrate through to the bottom, but we are gonna find out. Okay, into the oven. Okay, I ended up letting it go in for 5 minutes in the oven. And now I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna see went all the way through. Just gonna do kind of some touch-up spots on the back where it looks like it didn't come through all the way. Put it back in for a couple more minutes. Okay, so now that I have this out of the oven, I'm going to try my best to get it separated all the way down to the bottom. And now I'm gonna hang it to dry where it is kind of sitting open because I don't want it to dry closed. Just like this. I'm all done. I only have a little bit of this left. I'm just gonna put it in this silicone soap mold. Hopefully it's not too hot. I love you too. Mommy. I love you too. I'm gonna let that cool in there, and then that way I'll have them for next time. Now the last thing I'm gonna do on these beeswax wraps is I'm just gonna take my pinking shears. They have the zigzag pattern on them, and I'm just going to go along all the sides to give it a cute texture and also to help with the fabric fraying. One down, 500 to go. Okay, so now all my edges are nice and crisp, and then our bread bags are all nice and dry. Our drawstring still works perfect. And so now all of these are ready to go. That is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you now feel excited to make your own. I think these are gonna be not only a great addition in my kitchen, but also a great addition at my farm stand. So I can't wait to see what my customers think of these. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I post videos every Friday. Like I always say, I do a little bit of everything around here. I sew, I crochet, I'm a beekeeper, I have my sourdough micro bakery, gardening season is right around the corner, and so I know there's gonna be a lot of that stuff going on. So if any of that interests you, I would love for you to stick around. Don't forget, Jesus loves you, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.